Hi guys, I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings. Had some mishaps with some of my done up videos, so I'm just shooting out the live version to get the readings done here. For the tie up my whole series, man. Okay, so good morning or afternoon, pretty soon here. So this will be for the Sagittarius female single. For the winter 2018 into 2019. So that's northern parts here, talking about November, December, January, February, up until Valentine's. Basically, will be my next run here. So I am going to get right into it. It's basically love, sex, and romance here we're dealing with. Trying to unblock any blocks that you may have or make you see clearly any universal messages that need to come through here to guide you along your way, quickest, fastest way forward. Okay. What else? I think that's it. Just going to dive into it. I have 5 decks I come from here, and I use the Lenormand to break up the general energies with the love and romance, and then we rip it apart and see what we can find out. Okay, so we'll start with the general energies here. Again, for the Sagittarius female single, the first card I got for her is the 4 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords energy is about resting, meditation, taking it easy, recharging our batteries. Okay, just taking a time to zone out and deal with being peaceful. That's the word they gave me. It's peaceful. We're trying to gain some peaceful time here. The next card I get is the High Priestess. So these two go well together. We are going inside to rest and relax physically. And I feel intuitively we're trying to dip into areas here, clean our palette, get everything cleared out so that we can suss out. I feel like the Sagittarius female here, she's trying to suss things out. So she's got some time here to do that. She's single. She's taking a low-key mode here and going to dive into her instincts. Next card I get is the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is about the finances, right? Being sturdy and solid. I feel like this is paramount to her or has something to do with the field that she is in at the moment. Interestingly enough, I feel like this break and this intuition has to do with an area strictly of romance, but money is aspected highly here, no less. And then we end the line with the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is about plugging away with our finances, right? Trying to build and gain. I feel like, and this is what she's going to focus on over the winter, is gaining and building financial stability. Feel like she has, but she's like, we need a buffer here. We need a cushion, and I feel like she's just going to really put all her efforts in that way, in that area, building finances and whatnot. Okay, so that's the first line of the general energies. I go horizontal and then I break it down vertically, but we'll move across here. The next line, the first card I get is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is about contemplation. This person here is contemplating what they need to do for it. I feel like they're giving me the word strategizing. Strategizing, did I say that right? Creating a strategy forward, how to deal with my life and how to deal with things in my life, including romance and work, and how to maybe even balance the two, okay? The next card I get is the Empress. Now, the Empress energy holds that light, flowy, abundant feeling, right? The woman is feeling very abundant in her energy forward. And I feel like not in a showy way either. We're just naturally coming across this energy because we're working on our abundance, you know, financial stability, whatnot. And it's kind of glowing from the inside, but nonetheless, there's some thought processes here and strategic planning forward. The Empress energy, I feel it just kind of flows gently with her. She's very secure in herself and moving forward. Okay. Now the Six of Pentacles comes after that. That's about the give and take here, balancing, right? Nobody gets more than they deserve, including this Sagittarius female. So she's in a position where not only in a romance, because I'm feeling a 50-50 split here, like she's very balanced in her life. She's got things figured out, but we're wanting to make sure that everything's balanced in a personal way and in a business way. And I feel like this is very much where she's at, but where she's keeping note of. These are the things she's going to be highly attracted to, making sure they stay that way, balanced, right? And I feel like, she may have more problems with imbalances at work rather than in a private personal area, that kind of thing. And then we end on the King of Wands. Yeah, and that's the attitude here that we're going to take forward. If we have an imbalance, we're going to take charge and make sure that we draw a line here. This man is very much in charge and in control of things. So this is her, this is her element. The Wands energy is the fire element. So she's very much feeling robust in all of her control things. But I don't feel like it's like she's controlling she's just controlling her environment, trying to make sure that nothing gets crossed the line here that shouldn't be in any direction, work or love, right? So yeah, taking control and thinking very highly about how she's going to do this. And that strategic planning is very much in place, that she's not going to go outward with anything before she makes a solid plan to do so. Okay, so very controlled energy, but not like controlled, but not out of control. Okay, now as we split into the energies here with the Lenormand, kind of breaks up the love and romance. So the first card I get in the Lenormand is 29, the waiting woman. Now this is the passive woman. She's looking in a direction. What is she looking for? Usually this woman with the rose in her hand, she's waiting for love to enter, right? So there's an essence of this. Next card I get is 15. That's the Baron. In this deck is interesting because this is a card. It can be about power, can also be about maternal figure. Someone who's very powerful and pushes their weight forward. Okay. It's interesting because we have the passive woman looking this way and the power looking in another. So if we're talking, and the energy I'm getting here is kind of split 50-50 down the middle with work and love. I feel like she's passively waiting for love to enter, but she's aggressively going in the direction of making her things come true, like the Pentacles. We're talking about making money and how she does that. So that's very much where she feels powerful and moving forward. The next card I get is 38, the Bridge. So the Bridge is about bridging over obstacles. So we are powering forward here. And I feel like, again, it's not in a love area. We're talking work and relationships with others in a work sense. I feel like there's power here to overcome obstacles at work, and a great ability to do that, to accomplish that. I feel like the love sector is taking a back seat, but nonetheless, she's gaining power in her work area or personal area, but with friends, and overcoming obstacles in that way forward. Okay, feel very highly. This is surrounding her for the greater part of until New Year. Feel like this is really what is the central focus here. Next card we get is 42. So with these obstacles, we may be wondering about the direction we're going to take, okay? And they're going, this could be love or work. We could just, whatever. There's something here that's going to bring about that kind of a decision. What do I need? Could be in a work area that this comes to be. Now this, where was this pointing? This was pointing at the King of Wands, which I highly felt was that energy she's stepping into of her own power. And I feel like she's really exploding that on the work front. Not so much in the romance area because there's no opportunity there at this point that I see. Okay. So the direction she wants to take is her power forward in a work area. And we're overcoming obstacles and feeling more powerful. In that, it's powerful drive pushing that energy forward, but there's also power at the end. Gives me a sense that we're right in just and so. What we're pushing is good, and it's getting through a lot of things that are disjointed at work, and that's creating an opening for a different direction, and maybe even an opening for an advancement, or somebody above you sees something that you're exhibiting as a leader and wanting to put you forth, that kind of thing. So there's a good energy here, this woman being in her power, very much so. So that's good. Good cards. Okay, so now we get into the romance side here, and we'll see what happens. We have a single here, but the first card we get is the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands, sorry, I'm going to adjust the lighting. 10 of Wands is about putting your best foot forward. This man is, he's got a suit on, he's paying attention to how he looks and is presented to this woman. So there may be someone coming at you in this way, or you may be going outward in that way forward. I feel not so much because of the cards that I had before here. I feel like she is more in the passive mode as to finding a mate or, someone to partner up with. So I feel like you may have some attention coming your way with someone, putting on their best behavior to impress you. Okay. The next card I get is the 6 of Coins. And there it is. The 6 of Coins is about kind of like flirting. This man is a painter and he has to paint this woman's portrait. And she is, feeling all great and wonderful about it. She's feeling very complimented by it, right? So not only are we getting attention, but it's really working. We're feeling flattered by the attention that's coming forth. So there may be someone coming about here in the midst of all of this focus that she's got on work that's going to kind of bring her out of her zone and make her feel pretty and wonderful and all that feminine stuff. The next card I get is the 7 of Cups. And that's about, man, that's just one step further. This man is kind of bending over and he's out in public and he's admiring her and paying high attention to her, which is very, this is all flattering stuff, right? This man is very enamored with her and is not afraid to show it in public, private, whatever. Next card I get is 18, the Moon. Now, the Moon is an interesting card on the romance side. Really, on the romance side, we're talking about canoodling and snuggling and getting intimate and close. The beginnings of it, nonetheless, we're still kind of, there's a lot of mystery in the relationship, mystery about the person. We may not know each other as deeply, as a seasoned couple, but nonetheless, we're romancing someone that we, need to get to know more. There's a lot of mysteries here, but nonetheless, we're enjoying ourselves. So a nice little ride there she's going on over the winter. Someone of interest comes forward and they start to, drift into his zone here is really what's going on. He's coming forward, showing his best colors. And then, he's flattering her from, I don't feel it's too far, but I feel like he's just flattering her, and then he gets closer yet and they go out and have the dates, and then, you know, it just keeps going down the line and getting deeper and deeper. So there is someone here that's coming forth, and I feel we may even be in the zone here by Christmas time ish. Okay. So actually pretty fair energy there working from. Now, as we get into the sex zone, should be interesting, is the Hermit. So the Hermit is about, and I feel like that is her energy. The Hermit's about taking yourself out of the mix. Okay, we had a situation where we are not in a relationship. We are single, and I feel it was our choice to be that, to do so. And I feel like the Hermit is really kind of sitting there wishing we had something, but the place we came from wasn't good. And some of us maybe have been in a situation here where we've been single for a while. The Hermit is kind of taking yourself out, but yearning to be in a relationship. Like, really, he's looking upon that couple going, I wish I had that. So the feeling of that on a physical sense, right? We don't have anybody close enough to us to be that intimate with. So we're kind of missing that. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Next card I get is the Queen of Cups. And again, I feel this is her energy. She is wanting to wrap herself up in the physical side of things, but not in a hasty way, in a good solid way. Again, not having the opportunity come forth for her where she figures that it's worth it. Okay. But there is an energy here coming in nonetheless, but I feel over the better part of the early winter, November, December is what I'm feeling. We're not going to have that. So this is that energy of wanting to indulge in the act with someone, basically in the physically, you know, it's there. We're missing that and wanting that, and not only that, we have that is built up in us. Like, I feel like the female, she's just really recharged, right? She's working on that recharge, and then she's going to get full of that energy and ready to blast it outward. Now, next card we get is the Knight of Swords. So this is interesting because this may be a potential partner. Usually this guy carries a lot of weight in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. Just give me a minute here. I gotta see. They're going, yeah. There's a softer energy coming from the Sag female. And there's a man that's more in control. I'm not going as far with the energy here. They're going, it's not as heavy as we normally put on this card, because I usually kind of attribute this card to kind of a control freak in the bedroom. They're going, no, it's not that bad. It's just someone that takes charge, but because of the energy that the female is carrying, he doesn't have to go overboard. So it's okay. It's not overpowering as much as I feel here. Now the next card on the sex side is Strength. Okay. So we're going to be needing some strength here to get through. I feel like this is kind of a phasing thing. Where, yeah, this is, just give me a minute here, spanning the time. Yeah, we're talking about going from a zone of not having a partner for us to, you know, worthy of being intimate with. And then over a period of time, we build up our energy resources, if you want to put it that way, where we are ready to go outward in that way. Because there's a point here where I feel like the Sag female, she's really didn't want to engage. And that might be this period here of November, December, where we're kind of enjoying the gap here. It's okay. I don't need it. But I feel like that's going to kind of flip after the new year. We're going to start to flip into a different energy zone here where we're going to want to share in an intimate way. And then there's going to be someone there for us. And it could be that air sign, an air sign. Okay. And we're representing as a cup, meaning we're very compassionate and emotional and soft and really receiving, like, getting a receptive energy from this woman, like, um, she's willing to put effort forth where at one point she might have been fed up with things, right? So we've recharged, we've filled our cup, and now we're ready to go outward. And we have an energy coming at us that I feel I can't translate, because what I've got here in the romance area is a real effort to put the best foot forward. So unless that's a mask here that this person's wearing, I don't see it being too far off in the bedroom. I feel like the control here, um, though it may be his character to kind of take charge, I feel like it's not too far out of whack. We may need some strength to deal with some issues in the bedroom, and that may just be the whole newness of it, because I'm feeling it's very new and fresh, right? So I feel like that's really what it is. It's there's a sense here that the Sag female is kind of backing up on the sex side, or wanting to, or use, I gotta watch how I say, using that as a way to filter, meaning we don't want to jump in too quickly, but we're wanting, so, we got to bridge that gap and find a good medium here. That's part of that strategy. I think she's trying to figure out, how do I, because I want to be intimate, but how do I filter, the ones that are just looking for that. So this is kind of the thing, I think, is where the strength comes in, is she's gonna have to hold off a little bit longer here to filter out, the unwanteds. But I feel like this man is just really coming through on all levels. Okay. So that is the basic reading. I'm going to go, that's horizontally. I'm going to go vertically, and we'll break it down one more layer and see what else comes out. Now, the first card we had was the Four Swords, and I feel like that's immediately what this woman's going through. She's taking a break to rest, recharge, and replenish her system in the love area. That's what I feel really is what is depleted, and she is now working towards that, and on the latter end of it. I feel like in the fall here, there's might be a few of them that are still single, and it won't be until, almost Christmas, where we're dipping back into something where we're wanting to put our energy outward. So recharging. Then we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about contemplating, making plans forward here. We're resting and we've got our energy back, but now we have to plan forward. And I feel like this is really good for the female, because she is using everything she learned in the past to make plans for the future, right? What did I learn in the past? And I'm not going to make that mistake. And again, so what do I have to do in order to make that happen? Then we have 42, which is the direction. And again, feeling there's a sense here of her dipping into work over this time. But nonetheless, there is something that comes in her field the later part of the winter that brings her a direction to go in. And that's the Ten of Wands, is about that person that comes forward to show their best qualities, show off to this, really showing off to this Sag female. And then what happens there is the Hermit after that. So even though we come across this new partnership or new possibility, or dating or whatever, lightly dating, we are kind of trying to remove ourselves from the sex side of things so that we can filter out some of the, the weeds here. We don't want to get someone who's just there for that. Okay. So there's a sense of the female looking for that as well. And that's why she's kind of hermiting in the physical side. She'll let them come in romantically, but physically we gotta wait a little longer. So this is all good. So that's the first row of energies. Second row we get is the High Priestess. So that's about her instinct, right? What is she dealing with? What is paramount to her in that way? And we get the Empress next to that, which is very mysterious energy. This woman is wanting to keep secrets, but of a feminine nature. I feel like she's wanting to go out and date, but not wanting to lay all her cards on the table. I feel like she's very intuitive in that way. and it will strike a good balance forward. And I think that's really what captures this man's attention is the fact this woman isn't just, I mean, I can't just figure it all out what's going on here. So that's kind of the mysteriousness, right? Because there's a lot of intuition wrapped up in this card and this one as well. But this is more of the feminine qualities that a man is looking for, and this is more the wisdom qualities of if we're talking about archetypes, this would be the older woman, right? That is kind of you come to me, and the Empress, she kind of wanders herself in the crowd, and whatever comes will come, right? So that's kind of the difference between the two energies, and they're both wrapped up in a nice package here for the female to go outward with. The next card we get is the 38, and that's bridging the gap here over any difficulties. And I felt like this could be in a work area, but this should also run the gamut into this new relationship coming in here. We're going to use our instinct and our feminine wiles to get through whatever mishaps that may come forth. Now, next card I get after that is the Six of Coins, and that's about, it may be to bridging the gap from being single to in a relationship, because this is really just stating that there's someone that's really overtly coming out and saying, you're beautiful and wonderful, like complimenting. I wouldn't even say as far as flirting, but we could include that as a progressive, right? So there's an energy here of showing interest highly, really. And there's bridging the gap could be the fact that, yeah, I was in single mode and now somebody's bringing me out of that, right? And then on the sex side, we get the Queen of Cups, which is a water type energy, which slows this woman down and makes her more compassionate and more patient and more loving and caring than she normally would be. Why? Because she's been out of a relationship long enough that she realizes now what it feels like to not have it. So we're in more appreciation of it when it comes forward. This is really what's going on here on a physical level. So feeling that really on a romantical sense, we're feeling it in all areas. When this person comes forth, shows themselves, they really do step in all of it. When they lead us right down that path, there's passion and there's also romance and a sense of feeling flattered by what attention she's getting from this man. So that's all good. And then the next row is the Ten of Pentacles. And this was highly what I was getting about this woman feeling very, very driven by work and money and finances. And this was kind of, I wouldn't say a distraction, because this woman was very good at balancing everything. Felt like it was just very important to her, and she was going to continue with that forward. Next card I got was Six of Pentacles, and that's about evening things out, making sure that I make enough, one, to survive, and two, to enjoy myself. And I feel like that's a bigger part of what was going on here. Maybe when she was in the relationship she had before, she didn't realize how much time she needed or she should take to enjoy herself. I feel like that's part of it, was giving to herself through this card in this way. The next card I have is 15, the Bear. And the Bear is about her power and strength. And I feel that's very much coming outward through the money. This woman is secure financially, and that is gaining her strength and power and momentum forward. It just creates a zone here where I don't have to depend on a man or use it as a crutch. And that is very powerful for her energy field. Okay. The next card we get, Seven of Cups, and that's also working well for her attraction outward. I feel like she attracts a male, and he may not be interested in her money or whatever, but I feel like for her self-worth, that she is independent in the money zone, that helps her move forward in this relationship that comes to show itself. Okay. And then the next card I get is the Knight of Swords. And then the Knight of Swords is, with someone here that could take charge. I feel very much this person coming forward is not afraid to really roll out the carpet. So that's a good thing. And I feel like that in itself helps her with her esteem as well. This man is just not afraid to show his true colors. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So for the last row here, breaking everything down, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and that was her working on her financial independence, which is very empowering for her. Simply, it's an empowerment. That's where she gains her strength. That's where she feels, and she is doing very well in there. I don't feel like there's anything wrong or any mishaps that could come up. I feel it's all good, great, and wonderful. King of Wands is just stating, yes, this is our element. Where we work and how we work, we are very much in where we should be, in where we are most powerful, and in where we kind of click. Everything just lines up here. So that area, no problems. Strong, sturdy, stable, and we're working forward. And I get a sense here highly that we do enjoy our work. So the next card is the 29, and that is the waiting woman. She's looking all that she's accomplished, right? She's got a power at work, and she's building, and she's looking at all that, gaining strength, and that's kind of bolstering her forward into the romance area. Now behind her back, and this is because she doesn't know yet, there's the canoodling, the intimate moments that she manages to gain from this man coming forth. And I feel like it's a soft, gentle energy. We come in just very slowly. He comes in and just, does his thing, and we get together, we go on a date. So it's a very nice organic feel to it. It's not too fast, and nobody's frustrated. Everything's going good and great and wonderful. And then we end up on the 11. Sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 11. Different decks. With the strength. So not only is she feeling strong in her own personal power forward, but she's going to gain strength through this relationship. I feel like this relationship coming in is going to be very casual, yet rewarding in that way. We may need strength in certain areas, and I feel like that has to do with the intimacy areas. I feel like everything else is all great and groovy, but intimate wise, we may have some ups and downs as Sagittarius female is dealing with. We may have to compromise. I don't know if it's compromising that so much as seeing why we have these dips and stuff. Are we thinking that the partner's not appreciating us on a sexual level, or is that the only thing, right? And that's kind of a little bit of a hang up there, but other than that, it's free sailing. So actually a very good reading for the Sagittarius female single. She seems to have everything figured out. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn the phone off. And is going to be going nicely in a good direction. So I'm going to end this quickly because my phone. But nonetheless, that's the reading for the Sagittarius female. All good, great, and wonderful for the winter. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Take care, have fun, and be kind.